James, just start out with the offensive line improvement. I mean, it looks substantial in recent weeks that you guys are playing much, much better. Do you agree? And if so, why?
I agree. I think it's a big step for all five of us. Over the bye week, we kind of all got together as just an offense in general and really discussed like what we wanted for the rest of the year and wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page, everybody was bought in, and all five of us didn't flinch. Everybody had the same answer, and I think the biggest part of the improvement was we all trust each other and we all know how much work we put in over the off season, and we know that we were capable of better. And it finally started clicking against TCU when we started talking about sacrifice and like who sacrificed for us and what we were sacrificing to be in this position. So I think that was a big part of it, and I'm really proud of all of us on the way that we improved over the past 2 weeks, and I expect that we keep improving over the next 4.
James, it's almost a cliche. I mean, I don't want to put it in that, but hey, we got together, we know we're better. People say things, but what goes into making that happen? I mean, sometimes, like you said, you can get a little bit of improvement from
Right.
week to week, but is it a mental thing? Is it, what is it that really makes that click?
I think one of the biggest, like you said, it's mental. It's definitely mental. But the other thing that made it click was the relationships across the board. Like everybody that's on the starting line has a great relationship. Like if you look at Wyatt and Doug on the right side, they played together in high school. They know each other very well. I played with Zach last year, and I played with Yates last year, and we all are on the same page, and we all have a good relationship outside of football, and so do them. So does the right side, and now we all mesh together like that. So I think having 5 guys across the board that are in really good relationship with each other is a big part of that, and like we hold each other to higher standards, and like we know what we're capable of. In the off season, we saw each other work, and we pushed each other, and seeing that slide a little bit in the beginning of the season kind of like triggered something, and then once all 5 of us were together for that TCU game, the whole game, it really clicked and it showed like what we can do as a unit.
How much did that help, do you think? I mean, I know, you got the balance of some other guys may deserve to play, but having the same 5 out there for every snap.
I think it's a big part of it because like we come off the field and immediately start communicating. Like we know what's going on each side of the ball. So if something happens on the other side, they can get switched, and it's just being able to play. I think we played 81 snaps altogether against Iowa State, and with no like real deep experience like seniors, that's a huge step for an offensive line. Like you don't really see that much unless it's like a group of seniors of like 4 plus that can play 81 snaps, but you have underclassmen that are playing that, so that's a big step.
Usually, offensive line only gets talked about in the public eye when things aren't going well. How difficult was that first part of the season when obviously things weren't going well?
It was difficult, but what Coach Moore kept reiterating to us was that we just can't let it get to us. Like we can't look at it. Like you may be able to see it, but you just got to dismiss it, and you can't let it feed into the room, and you can't let the negativity seep in and really start spreading. And then if it seeps in and starts spreading, that's when you get bigger issues that can't be fixed.
How much did the winter and summer work between you guys and competition in the weight room between you guys and the defensive line? You guys seem to be pretty competitive. How much does that create for the team?
It really, I think, set off a great off-season work for everybody because, like you said, we're always competing against each other, and we're the sparks of each side. You can't win without either one of us. And I think the rest of the team seeing how much work we put in and how hard we competed against each other really kind of spread. And then once they started seeing that, everybody else started to pick up on it, and competition started to rise within the receivers, the DBs. Everybody started trying to compete to be better.
Where have you seen the most growth the last few weeks from Milan? How impressive you've been with his play as a true freshman?
For a true freshman to come in and win Offensive Lineman of the Week against the number 1 defense in the conference is incredible to me. During the team meeting the next day, we always go through and give out awards, and we heard 8 knockdowns, and we all started looking at Frazier just because like that's what we expect from him. But Coach Brown was like, "You guys are expecting the wrong name," and then he said Wyatt's name, and it was really like relieving, and like I was proud of him. Like, I think we all were, to see him come out and play the way he did. He was very physical. His attention to detail was elite. He really took a step from previous weeks. Like even from TCU in 1 week, he made tremendous strides.
James, your college experience is different than most of your teammates, being married with a child and all those type of things. Just what's that like in the locker room? How much, I don't want to say grief, but kidding do they give you for being the dad and all those type of things?
No one really gives me anything about it. It's kind of just, I mean, I get called grandpa a lot from Wyatt, but there's nothing much really said about it. It's all my family's kind of like separate from here. Like we'll joke about it here and there, but it's nothing that's like brought up a lot.
Is your experience different than your teammates? I mean, they're going out doing some of those things.
No, not really. I was never one to like go out, and I was always more just stay in the house and relax, play video games. And I don't think having a wife or kids would change that at all. I think I would still be doing the same thing I would.
James, when you see Mathis come in and run the first couple times, it seems like that wakes everybody up. Just the nature of his run.
It's exciting because we're used to Letty doing that, and Letty being the only one to power run. But seeing Mathis come in and do what he does, it's really relieving, and it takes a lot off of Letty. It takes a lot off his back. We saw it a lot during camp, and then he had his little injury, and then he came back. He worked to get back to the strength he was at about mid-camp, and he hasn't missed a beat, and it's really, really exciting to see him play the way he is.
Make it easier to block or more fun to block, or do you just not to block because he breaks tackles?
Yeah, he breaks tackles. It's fun. It's relieving to know if you do miss a block, there's a chance that he's going to make a miss. So that's a nice part.
Did you see the play that he made in the backfield? I think it was on your side, right?
Yeah, it was on the right side when he dropped number 9.
Standard move in the backfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to being a dad, you go out Halloween, you take it's a daughter, right?
Yeah.
You go trick-or-treating, do all those things?
No, we didn't. She's still a little too young to understand the whole candy and trick-or-treating concept, but I would have liked to just so I can get the extra candy.